Wow. I just got off the phone with my buddy. I haven't talked to him in a little while, not too long. Um, Usually my friend calls, once a month or twice a month or whatever. He had to take his workshop truck in to get fixed. No, he didn't need to get it fixed just yet. He still has time. He plows for a living for the public streets, and where he has a plow truck, the plow, and the salter, and he has snow blowers and shovels and some other stuff for plowing. He took it in early to make sure his salter's working, that his plow's all good to go, making sure his differential's all up to the standards, making sure his four-wheel drive works, making sure his brakes are good, make sure his rear end is all good. Mostly just basic working, checking the tranny, making sure the fluids are good, checking the rear, making sure that's good. Just making sure, checking all the fluids, checking his spark plugs, wires, making sure them are all good. It's in the shop right now as we speak. Well, he went a electric vehicle because his wife's thinking about, buying an electric car. Now, I'm not going to throw out any names. We're not blaming anybody for anything and everything. I'm going to let you guys know. When you start using these electric vehicles, when you want to go from one place to another place, and it says this place is this amount of miles from this place to that, from A to B, and your electric vehicle says this to this. Now, does that counterbalance with all the cameras inside that electric vehicle? Does it counterbalance with the lights at night and the blinkers, and when you hit the brake, the lights come on, and the blinkers on the mirrors, listening to the radio, having your heat on, but in this case, air conditioning because it's still warm in Michigan? Does it counterbalance all that? Does it counterbalance all the tire pressure, monitoring the GPS? He loves the GPS. So does his wife. They both was using it. He took 3 days off so he can get his truck fixed. We're only in the first day with this electric vehicle, and it said he was good for mileage from A to B. Where he was going, he charged it from the location. Where he was going to go up north for the weekend. And, well, that all goes. So, he left Friday. Today he got stranded. He didn't make it to his location. Yes, the air conditioning was on. Yes, it was at night. Yes, he was doing the speed limit. But he was using the blinkers, high beams when he needed to, fog lights when he needed to. And he got stranded at 2 in the morning. It said he had enough mileage from the time he left the dealer, where he went to the company. I'm not even going to say the rental place, what kind of car it was, what brand it was. You guys can figure all that out. It's very simple and very sweet. It's a popular name. Popular rental place. Not going to bash anybody. I'm not going to say the city. All I can just tell you is my buddy from Michigan. And he's just like a brother to me. And I kind of feel bad because he literally had to wait from 2 o'clock to 7:30 in the morning for a tow man to come out. For them to tow it 26 miles to a charging station. That cost as much as 3 days renting this vehicle. He had to pay for a tow fee. We won't even know if he's going to get him the money back on Monday, tomorrow. We really don't know. He has his own insurance. He has AAA. He even got their insurance. Don't know why he shouldn't. But literally had to wait for AAA in the morning to do this. And it was $500. And thank God he don't have to pay $500, but he would have if it was another company. But AAA was so busy. Yes, it's a 24-hour service, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. The problem was, car came to a halt at 2 o'clock in the morning. And even at 2 o'clock in the morning, it was still pretty warm, like 70. So, nothing worked. The battery just went dead. And literally had to wait till 7:30 this morning for the AAA guy to come out. Funny thing is, he knew the guy. He plowed for the guy. Plowed his house before. And he has a pretty big driveway. Because he lives all in the back. It's almost like having 4 city houses. Just one here, one here, one here, and one here. 4. And we should be side to side. You know, done, not like, you know, kind of style stuff. It's like these poles. The house, and one pole is a house, another pole is a house, another pole is a house, another pole is a house. That's where he lives. Then he has a huge driveway. But that's what kind of property line it is. It's 2 lots, but really the space for 4 lots. 2 lots like this, but really it's enough for 4 houses. But he only has 1 house, and it's a fairly big house. You thought them houses were big? Try 3 of them into 1. It's a modular home. How it's built. It's 27 and 27. Then he has another trailers in the middle. There's 6 trailers all together and 6 trailers on top of each other to build this modular home. And then they came out. When they came, the roofs were flat and there's peaks. And the whole peak all the way around them houses. So you figure each trailer is 27 foot long. There's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's one of the biggest projects company's ever made. Pretty big company. Pretty nice company. He went through to do this. This is his future house. His kids are living it. His kids are living it. Everything in there, when they built the house, fire retardant. I think that's what the word is. There's spray for fire retardant. There's spray for water damages if that ever happened. There's tar. It's built under a basement. Now the basement is not as wide as it. I think the basement is 26 by 20. So the basement is not as big, but there's good dining in there. There's a bar down there, good dining room where the washer and dryer and all the water is. And a little bar area where it fits like 6 or 7 stools. And 2 big deep freezers and 2 refrigerators for his beer and water and all that good stuff. And that's, I think one side is for the family, the other side is for his beer. Then he has 2 big square stand-up deep freezers. He puts whatever in it. Then he has air fryers. He has deep fryers. He has a flat Black & Decker flat skillet. The guy has money. He needs, in the 50s. I think he graduated in 95 or 96. Graduated from my brother, so he's more of my brother's friend than anything. So just letting you guys know, if you're ever going to rent an electric vehicle, you may want to make your charging places a little bit closer, all because it says you have this amount of charge. So you got to think about your heat, your air conditioning, your radio, your lights, your blinkers, if all them cameras, if it's built into that car, monitoring system for your tires, and all the monitoring systems, however how it works, GPS, radio, using the Bluetooth for, when you answer your phone, all that. It takes away that power. It might say 300 miles, but that's towards everything. And the destination of his next charger was 326. And 326 miles. Well, he thought he had more than 300 miles. It was 326 miles away. But it said he could do it with 300 miles if he did this amount an hour speeds. But a fully good charge is 400 miles. You only got 300 miles. Was using air conditioning and his GPS, all the camera technology, because you use the Bluetooth through the radio. Was listening to the radio. He was doing the speed limit, sometimes under the speed limit, but from using the fog lights to the high beams, he literally lost 75 miles. It was 26 miles away from his charging station. And from the charging station where he was going was another 26 miles. That's where I messed up at. But he had 326 miles, and he had 26 miles to go. And he had 400 miles. Literally 75 miles or 74 miles, 73 miles, whatever it was. By using all that other technology, screwed him. Thank God his phone was, and when charging his phone and his wife's phone, all that got scrambled into this. Thank God one of the phones had battery and they had service where they went, because they were out in the boondocks. I really didn't even know this when he was telling me where he was. I didn't even heard of it, where he was out in 23. So, thank God the tow man came. Thank God he didn't have to pay, because he asked you how much the tow fee would have been. It was $500. Because he literally took him right to the charging station. That was the closest one, 75 miles away. Why? Again, if I told you this company, well, I'd probably get in trouble. Better yet, this channel would be dead. It'd be gone, deleted. I'd probably have to go to court. So I'm not going to tell you where he rented the vehicle at, and what kind of car it was, and what brand, because I love my channel. I love talking to you guys. Even with the people who do watch, I respect every one of you. And if you guys have any kind of issues like this, and you're happy with anything, even gas vehicles, saying they get this amount of miles, and it doesn't because you're using some other kind of stuff. I don't know how that would work, but your car's saying you get this amount of miles, and you didn't. Let me know if this happened to you with a gas vehicle or electric vehicle. I'd like to know your story too. Now, it don't have to be as long as mine, being 13 some odd minutes long, but just in, a paragraph or two, 100 words, just tell me, has this ever happened to you or a family member, a friend, a co-worker having an electric vehicle, them going somewhere and end up becoming stranded? I like to hear your guys' stories about that. Be kind of interesting to see how many stories pop up out of how many people I have subscribed to me, how many other people you guys share this to. I'll just let you guys know, just be safe. I don't know what you can do to not make that happen. Find closer charging stations, I don't know. But he was up north, that's all I can tell you. Up in Principal. Not up north on the glove, he was up north on the top of it. So, just be ready. Have extra gear with you, have water, have a fully charged cell phone, or have a battery to charge your phone. If their phone wasn't charged, who knows, because they don't even know if people drove by, because they just went to sleep. They knew they couldn't do nothing until 7:30 in the morning, because when they called AAA, I'm like, nope, nobody's going to be out until at least 7:30. If anything changes, we'll give you a buzz. And that's around, like I said, 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning. And him and his wife just, thank God they can sleep in a vehicle. They're small enough, they're only like 5'6", 5'7". So they're small enough. And the car was big enough where he could sleep in the back, because he's about a 4 inches taller than his wife. But thank God they're under 6 foot. He went in the back, and they had stuff because they were going up north for the weekend. It was Friday, and today's Sunday, because, well, you know, so they had clothing, blankets, pillows, and stuff, sleeping bags and stuff, and all that. Thank God they had stuff to stay warm. But thank God it was warm too. When we dump all this, they didn't have no kind of fan with batteries. Like, I got a USB one that's pretty cool. It's called Cool 2. And you just plug it in your cigarette lighter, or you plug it into a USB wall socket. And because it's the same kind of setup as the older Android phones before the C port came out. So it's pretty cool. Talk to you guys later.